with that being said, I have to ask, right? I have to ask, open question over here. I would like to know what is the most overrated anime and why is it Naruto?
Me first.
And why is it Naruto?
Yeah. And why is it Naruto?
Yeah. I'm gonna get so much hate right now. Neon Genesis Evangelion is so overrated. It's so overrated. It drives me nuts. Oh.
I'm gonna get some hate here.
My favorite show, right?
It's gonna be Attack on Titan, eh? I'm so sorry, guys.
It's
just
Attack on Titan. That's my other favorite.
Too melancholy for me.
Too melancholy.
It's the same reason I could not enjoy Shinji as a character. He's just the constant crying and whining and complaining. It's just, oh man, he put me off so much.
So guys,
for me, it's Cowboy Bebop. I mean, come on.
Guys have just been informed.
It's a joke.
Sorry guys. So quick one. I've just been informed that the stream crashed. There's two ways we can do this. I think we can continue just talking shit over here among ourselves and have some fun with it. And as soon as the stream comes back on, I will tell you that, okay, guys, just so you know, we're back live. So then we can take it back to PG, right? Would that be okay for everyone?
So you're going to give us the heads up when we have to stop dropping F-bombs.
Okay, and we are back up, right? Okay. So guys, if you have just joined us,
there it is.
If you have just joined us,
did anyone get
having an interesting debate. Someone here who I'm not going to mention just threw a whole lot of shade at Cowboy Bebop.
Okay, it was a joke.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie.
Seriously.
I'm not
I would
going to
never
lie.
say it.
I am out here just having my Nando's and all that stuff over here. I had to put the fork down. Over here, and I held the knife like this. And I was like, hey. And then I realized it just for dramatic effect, because even me, I don't know Cowboy Bebop. Me, I only know 7 Deadly Sins, and I'm telling you now, it is a beautiful story. Beautiful, simply beautiful.
Oh, Zaid, you are so wrong.
Seven
You are so wrong. You are so wrong. Oh.
Wow. With melanitis.
Do you want to get fucked up in here?
Did you not listen to my podcast? Did you not listen to my hate speech against that terrible show?
Yeah. But this is exactly the reason now why we want to discuss. My man, I binge watched that whole thing. You're playing games with me. You know what?
Have you seen the quality of animation? Have you seen it steadily dip?
Yes.
Okay, see, right? You must understand that finances are a challenge. The fact that, they had to go to a slightly less, and I say this with all the respect in the world, adept studio, to create the latter seasons, that does not in any way change the fact that it is a beautiful, magic, touching love story of a man incarnated in the thing. Tony, you agree with me?
Be more wrong. Oh.
Tony, you agree with me? Right, Tony?
I'm sorry, I don't give too much comment. I haven't watched very much of it.
What? I agreed with you that Dragon Ball Z is definitely overrated.
Yeah.
Take that back right now, Tony.
I mean, it's true.
Hate speech.
It's overrated.
Okay, describe to me how awesome those Dragon Ball Z fight scenes are. Go.
Which ones?
When you do it, animation and they do it smart,
My animation lecturer once said to me when I told him I love Dragon Ball Z, he's like, "Oh, so you just like watching storyboards then?" And I'm like,
accurate.
You know what?
Tell me how much you love the
You know what, guys? I don't
how
know.
much plot happens in each Dragon Ball Z episode.
2 minutes.
I don't know who's the animation pro that told you that, but not everything can be. And I'm trying not to pre-assume here, but not everything has to be Disney animated. You know what I mean?
No, of course not.
Yeah.
And I heard there was a part of the conversation earlier about Naruto. I was never a fan. I had a close friend and friends who was trying to sell me, Naruto for every aspect of the concept. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not in that vibe right now. I was in I was in anime when you were still in diapers. So don't try to sell me this, okay? But the thing is, I must admit though, I've seen animation scenes on Naruto where the characters were off, the proportions were off, but the animation was just genius. It was the fights. I remember a scene, it was from one of the early seasons where they're fighting over water and they're leaving tracks like the jets when they fly super low and stuff like that. This is the kind of material you study in animation school because it's efficient, it serves the purpose of the type of story you want to tell at the time. Now, it doesn't make the whole quality of the show. Of course, it needs to have a great backbone of a story, but you sometimes in every show, whether it's anime or more Western animation, you always have every now and then, except maybe for Alvin and the Chipmunks, you might have gems of animations here and there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be as. I mean, of course, yeah. Dragon Ball Z had a lot of static shots. People were talking and telling about their past lives and their feats and their glory gone and stuff like but it also created a whole world, a whole universe.
As a kid I didn't really care about the animation quality.
I kind of like it.
I watched a little documentary recently on the technique they used and the martial arts coordinator that they have on for Legend of Korra.
Oh wow!
And the way they actually used, you see, they like perfect rotoscoping. They would storyboard the sequence, and if more complex movements and foreshortening and shots needed to be added, they'd literally record real martial artists doing the different styles and techniques.
And then there's that debate whether Avatar is anime or not.
Yeah, there's always going to be that debate.
I do think of it as not your traditional anime. I suppose it's a westernized style. It's like Boondocks, like
it's a step in that direction. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Now that leads to another question though, in regard to what's coming up right now. And I don't want to drop a bomb there and just run away from it, but I'm kind of like I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm kind of pissed at Netflix announcing Blood of Zeus, a Netflix anime original. I watched the whole show. I powered through. It's not anime, for Christ's sake. It has. Oh my God! It was so horrendous. Horrendous.
Tell us how you really feel.
I don't know how I feel about that, huh? Like I haven't watched it. I thought it was entertaining for what it was.
I wonder,
but
if I can divulge this little trinket. So the Quasi comic book is fairly successful in South Africa, and we've been in the process of obviously pitching and trying to adapt it into a show. And we actually got to
still offering my voice,
Crunchyroll, because Crunchyroll are starting to do
with Onyx Equinox. Yeah.
So we had a chat with Crunchyroll because obviously there's influence, but Quasi isn't very anime. And once they checked out the story, they're like, nah, it's too much like Warner Brothers, because I think they also partnered with Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers do DC's content and things. And it would have actually been great to adapt Quasi into a more anime style shonen sort of show.
But Clyde, you guys should pitch. That's just a tidbit. You guys should pitch at Amazon then. I mean, if you've seen how amazing the Invincible series is,
Invincible,
I think
Invincible is brilliant, eh?
It's so good.
You know what's cool about it? It's actually in our process. What we're doing now, obviously adapting for TV and writing pilot scripts and doing what do you call it? Scene synopses and breakdowns, episode breakdowns and things. It's cool to see after reading all of Invincible for all these years to see how they streamlined it for the show. sometimes you feel robbed because they leave out things that were important or you felt were important to you in the book or from the books, but they streamlined it well for an animated show, I think.
Clyde, quick question. Your opinion on what they did with Amber, number one, and secondly, how they changed Omni-Man's narrative in Great Reveal. Don't give spoilers, but so just talk in generalities there. So what do you feel about the way Amber's been portrayed, and then what they did with Omni-Man's final reveal? I'm going to just leave it like that.
So I like that they modernized it in a way, actually. Amber's she's yes.
I'm warning you, Clyde. No spoilers. I can see.
Yeah, no spoilers.
I can see it's coming.
Okay, no spoilers. No spoilers.
Daniel doesn't have Amazon where he comes from. Okay, so don't. And Stefan hasn't found someone to download illegally for him as yet. So don't do that.
I think they did on Amazon. Omni-Man they created suspense well in the show. I'll just put it that way. You know something is off, and you're kind of just going on the journey. You've got it at this unfortunate advantage having
inside knowledge, yeah.
Having inside knowledge, yeah, and what's gonna happen. I'm trying not to say any spoilers. Yeah.
Doing well.
But I also feel like at the end of this latest episode.
Yes.
It didn't end for me on a satisfying enough note. If that makes sense. Sometimes the episodes feel too slow, and other times they feel too fast-paced.
Yeah. I started watching it and I dropped the ball at some point. Not just because of that, because there is a pace. There's a pace that in the first couple of episodes, it's starting really slow, and even if there's action scenes like by the White House, it's kind of like, oh my god, this is the perfect show to nap to,
which is never what you want.
So exactly, and on the other hand, I wouldn't want, because I was just talking about this with my wife yesterday. As a matter of fact, I'm like, oh my god, every show now, every anime show, every animation show is about smashing you in the face in the beginning to get you hooked, and then we're going to establish the universe. And I'm like, I wish they found another a variety in narratives, because you're going to be bored. You're going to be bored after a while. There's that, and then there's another thing about Invincible. They want to show, and that's never a good thing. No matter what style, no matter what school you like most, it's never a good thing when the backgrounds, scene after scene after scene after scene, are trying to steal the show.
Yeah.
What is important is the characters, how they move forward in their story. The backgrounds should be here to hint at where it's taking place, giving you a vibe. But those conversations, might I say, those endless conversations between the father and the son on the rooftops, where you can almost count the curtains in every window. It's an eyesore. It's an eyesore. It's like, okay, you made your point. You can do great backgrounds, but even in a movie, even in Inception or in Doctor Strange, when the buildings are moving, they manage to not make it that overwhelming. The windows and the structures can be here. They can just be an idea of a building, and you're in the middle of the city on the rooftops.
Yeah.
You don't have to paint.
So the background painter is too good.
You don't have to paint. No, he's actually not too good. He's actually not good because he doesn't know when to step down and say, "Hey, I'm gonna be in my position. I'm gonna be in my right place." You don't need to count how many bars of a ladder that leads to a water tank on a rooftop there is. You don't need that. You need the idea of a background that suggests a morning on the rooftops, or an afternoon on the rooftops, or a sunset on the rooftops. You don't need to count every rivets on a water tank.
Yeah.
It's like the jerk who designed Spider-Man.
Yes, with the webs. Oh, I don't know how.
Seriously, that guy is a jerk. He just hates artists. I know what.
Well,
we'll
you know
do.
what?
We'll make a
Steve
character
Ditko,
that has
man.
lines all over his body.
I could just tell
and then-
Steve Ditko.
Yeah,
what I-
but you know what? Hey, you know what, Daniel? When you start drawing it, you can't help but thinking, oh, that makes sense. Okay, I know where this line is going. And even if you don't have a reference, if you don't have a reference under your nose, you know where those lines are going.
True.
I still don't like him.
Nice.
I don't know. You guys probably know Todd McFarlane's story with Spider-Man with the spaghetti web story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay, so before
He got
we get
warnings and got fired, nearly got fired because he wouldn't stop drawing
spaghetti web,
the webbing that Spider-Man uses now that everyone draws spaghetti style webs,
Yes.
as opposed to the 3 lines with the dashes through it. And literally, he wrote that
someone
in, and they
posted
gave him
some-
so much grief.
Someone posted something
Sorry?
recently that suggested that McFarlane wasn't the one who started doing the crazy webs like that. Yeah, they actually showed a
Really?
reference from somebody else that had done it years before, and I was floored. I was like, wow, that's like 2 years ahead of
Hey,
McFarlane. That's
geez.
crazy.
Really?
Okay.
You don't know
what,
who it was?
I give up. I can't figure out where this camera is. But you know what? There's so many of those legends. Just to the to the issue of Todd McFarlane and the webs over there. There are so many legends I've heard about that as well. And I'm just like, are people not just throwing shade at the Todd father because he
Shame.
had the business savvy?
No, I'm not saying that he
Yeah,
broke the mold in
business
so many
savvy
ways.
to like bring all of that stuff. I don't know. To
I was
answer
more
Pink
amazed.
Studio, yes, that is
Yeah.
that is Gohan. That is indeed Gohan. Sorry guys. Can I ask that we go, guys? Let's talk to each artist individually, and I wanna get more into everyone's process. Like, what's everyone being, the methodology that they're using, and this and that. Who would like to volunteer? Us looking at their work like super close up. Thank you, Tony. You're so kind. Okay, yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
Stuff.
Start.
Yes, Tony. Wow. You are a ray of sunshine, Tony. Right? Okay, a little closer for us with their friends. Okay, so Tony, what are we doing? What are you doing?
What? So the challenge here is that the scene has lots and lots of fireflies floating around. So I have to. Normally, you would kind of do this at the end. But I'm trying to capture a lot of these things in the beginning to kind of create a lot of the watercolor elements in it. So I have a lot of little bright spots that I'm gonna have to kind of paint around, which is a little bit of a challenge later on, and preserve it. And then I also want the tone of this piece to be sort of that orange, yellow, reddish, possibly a little, maybe a little cooler. And I'm gonna put a lot of the sky is going to be really dark later. So probably like a very dark brown. One of the things that this anime did was that it didn't before this anime, all the lines that you saw in the animations were always black. But this one decided that was too harsh for the story they were trying to tell. And all the lines are actually sepia. They're also a very dark brown, which adds a little bit to the tone. So I want to try to capture a little bit of that and keep it all within this almost slightly monochromatic piece, even. And we'll see how well I go about achieving that. But
a question for clarity, if I may. So in your mind's eye now, right? Because when we look at it, like you say, it's almost monochromatic, and it would, in theory, be very, very easy to get lost in the details of this. So in your mind's eye, how are you stopping yourself from losing yourself in the finer details of there? Because it's all, it's a very, very similar color palette. How do you do that?
The simplest way is I try to, I'm constantly telling myself to stick with a larger brush for as long as possible. So I won't be able to get into all the details. And then I try to wait until I'm as frustrated as possible with the larger brush until I need to go into and define the edges. And go like, okay, fine, I'll go grab something slightly smaller. Then I'll hit the details. Then I'll finalize the edges and go a lot darker and try to accommodate all these details that have to be there, like in the face. And I'll try to just pick my battles and be like, okay, I just want to do this face, this umbrella, a little bit around this hand, and pick the areas that I really want to focus on.
Tony, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Regarding that piece in particular, because sorry for a split second, I was on the phone.
No.
Walgreen was calling for confirmation. Because of the topic you chose.
Yes.
Mind you, a lot of you guys have chosen a feature film, not series. But in the case of that specific topic you chose, are you trying to stick with the color scheme of the movie, or are you trying to just go freewheeling with your wherever the color leads you?
It's a little bit. I'm taking inspiration from certain scenes in the movie. When the movie first starts off, you're greeted with just this like dark reddish,
brown,
yellowish kind of like scene with a lot of darkness. It's kind of like a warm darkness. And so I'm going to try to use that as my inspiration. There are lots of different scenes with different color palettes with it throughout the movie, but that's the one I'm going to try to take more inspiration.
Yeah. So you, like, when you think of the movie, is there one or two colors that come to mind? I know for me, I know I have a couple of colors, but they're not the ones that forcefully run through the whole movie, but
yes,
it might be part of the promotion for the movie I saw first, and then I'm projecting that into my own references about it.
I don't know if I have like a specific color, but it's somewhere between like an azo orange and a maroon that I'm
It's same for me. Yeah.
To hit at. I don't know if I don't think I have like the exact name of a color per se. Like,
but it's the brownish orange ochre. Yeah.
Right in that range is what I'm gonna try to aim for. And right now I'm just building layers. Like all these colors in the background are probably gonna be really pushed back. It's gonna be a really dark background when I'm done. So I can pop out a lot more of the lights and stuff like that. And I'll go back in later on with some white gouache or yellow gouache to add more fireflies and stuff. But the big
do you use pastels, pastel pencils?
I used these Krita colors that Daniel Govar encouraged me to check out. These are watercolor pencils.
Hey, he gets a cut. He gets a cut every time he.
Yeah. he just made
ding, cha-ching.
But I use these initially just to sketch in some of these fireflies, these circles.
Same here.
Oranges. So, but yep.
Loving it, brother. Loving it. Okay, so just before we turn our attention to Nathan, there's some love coming over here from Pengu 101, who says respect to people who have the patience for watercolor. So I think tonight, Pengu, you're gonna go to Daniel just now, and you'll see like some more watercolors there. But right now, let's go closer to Nate. Nate, brother, what's happening?
Nate, you're muted.
My bad. Sorry. Mute. Sorry.
Just watch his mouth.
Are you guys cool? Yeah.
Okay. Look, guys, please don't mind me. I'm chewing at the moment. I know I'm being disgusting, but Nando's is so good. And I'm really hungry, so don't mind me, right? But Nate, real quick right now, take us through it. What are you working on again? And the process.
Well, I'm doing Broly Holding Goku.
Nice.
And then
so cool.
I'll take some of the stuff that I heard from or was taught by Clyde, and then I'm gonna try my side on coloring digitally, which is I'm quite scared of it, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Now, Nate, I'm just looking at your sketch style over here. It seems to be slightly more flowing from some of your other stuff. Because if you look at Broly's garb, I noticed that the line work that you're using over there, it's very light. You know, it's sort of like very flowing over there now. So, are you working on a new art style at the moment, or is that just something specifically for this piece?
I think I have been getting more familiar with drawing these type of things, so finding my own little style and getting my smoothness. So it's less under this layer. There is definitely a layer with a bunch of circles and squares and stuff and skeletons that you don't see, and this then goes to that and then goes to a final layer line. So I've been getting to a stage where it goes a lot quicker and a lot smoother, and yeah, just practice every day. It's just sitting down and drawing.
Indeed. Okay, now, so some of you might not know this, but Nate is also a very gifted tattoo artist. Now, Nate, when you're approaching a piece like this versus a piece on the, shall I say, more porous canvas, that is the human skin, you know, what sort of thought processes are going over here? Because obviously, so not all of this work over here will translate as easily over to someone's skin, for example. So,
yes,
what sort of mindset goes in there?
Well, if I'm gonna have to do this as a tattoo design, I would definitely simplify it a lot in terms of the color choices, the gradients I would use. Look, you can do picture perfect stuff if you have the right skin tone. You can pick up lighter tones. On my olive skin, colors won't look bright. I mean, my black tattoos look dark, and like a color piece. Like if you had to do that Lumo green Broly hair, I don't think it'll translate so well unless you've got a really lighter skin tone. But otherwise, if I had to do this on any normal day, just the line work, some black and gray shading, and make it pop with a bit of white highlights. It'd be the best way to look at it from a tattoo standpoint.
Okay, so let's shake the tree a little bit over there now, right? So you get someone like with my skin tone. We're talking about deep cocoa over here, like, you know, chocolate brown, and we rock up over here, and you know, melanin enriched people, melanin enriched. Yes. And a guy rocks up over there and he's like, okay, no, brother, I want you to get us a Broly like right here, and I want that hair to pop. So how does one like actually deal with that? Like, you know, like have you had that conversation with anyone where you just like, nah, bro, this is not going to work with you. This is not going to work for you. Okay?
Yeah. Look, I've had this conversation, and it is a tough one, especially in South Africa, because we do have a lot of darker skin tone people because of the sun here as well. And like I said, with my olive skin, colors won't pop. So I've got a little red dot that I don't think anyone can see. But I usually tend to show them that bright color and how it heals on my skin, which tends to be a lot duller than it should be. And then therefore they can see it's not going to be quite the piece that they think they're going to have. So I'd rather adjust it to fit to their skin tone.
You know, that can't be a fun conversation. That really can't, because you know. Okay, so with that there being said, now right, let us shift over to my brother Paul Limgenco. Paul.
Hey, what's up, man?
So, brother, you are going all in over there. You know, like you have crafted a scene in totality, and you know, I want to go to the earlier debate that was taking place. And guys, if you just get slightly closer to Paul's screen over there, so we can just see you know what he's working on. Guys, I'm back in, and I'm wondering if Paul might be guilty of the invincible challenge, because bro, that is beautiful. That is just like,
what are you doing?
That is
wow.
just beautiful. Like,
just wow.
What are you?
You're talking about the backgrounds in Invincible.
Yeah, I mean, like Paul, that is genius what you're creating over there. You know, so take us through it over there, because I distinctly recall you saying that you had Goku. You know, I can see now you're working on him over there, and he's in the background. So talk us through it.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't drawn the part that he's or painted the part that he's actually standing on. So right now it looks like he's standing on the horizon, but he's not. So the when Goku was fighting Frieza, there was like basically 20 episodes of him charging this thing called a spirit bomb. I'm sure everybody here remembers that. He's standing there with his hands up and he's getting his butt kicked by Frieza, and then he doesn't guard anything, and then he just stands up, puts his hands back up, and he's like, I got to charge this thing, and it changes all the light in the entire planet, and Frieza doesn't even notice. So that's what I'm doing. That's the part I'm painting. That I laugh at.
Paul, a question coming here from Alan Bower, and I quote, how do you get the moon and light around it to pop out like that? So we're looking over there towards the left-hand side over there. Alan wants to know, how do you get to pop out like that? So I'm thinking it has something to do with negative space.
Sure. Well, Daniel touched on this before when you were asking about glow. It's pretty much the same concept. You just have to think about contrast, right? Dark and light. If something is light, and if you want something light and everything else is light around it, then you're not going to be able to tell that thing is bright, right? So you got to add dark things around it, kind of like,
juxtaposition.
Look at, yeah, exactly, yeah. A full moon is bright because it's there's more light bouncing off of it, but it's also dark around it because it's nighttime, right? That's all it is. It's just adding dark things around it, and adding not necessarily white, but something light.
I follow. Gentlemen, just generally, there's a comment from Awali saying, mad respect to how fast you all are. I am an aspiring artist, and what tends to be my what tends to be my drawback is how long I tend to take with drawings. I know previously the discussion was that everyone comes up with hacks and little shortcuts that they use as they go and get faster over there. But again, just mad love coming over there from the comments. Okay, with that being said, I just want to use the word juxtapose in a sentence because it sounded really, really sexy when Daniel said it. So I just want to
use another big word.
I just want to juxtapose that little diatribe of mine there against a strong feature now on Daniel of House Govar. So, gentlemen, if you'd be so kind, zooming on Daniel Paz. Oh, Danny boy, what are we working on?
Let's get in there. Let me see if I can zoom in. So, yeah, you got Princess Mononoke. You got the giant wolf. I'm probably going to put some this is going to be a crazy forest scene in the background, and the hardest part of this whole thing is going to be the lighting. I'm going to try and do that. You know how they always in the film, they were always kind of like right on the crest of a tree line, so half was in shadow, half was not. I'm going to try and get that going on with the wolf. I want part of the snout kind of basically the top half in shadow. Cool. She's going to be mostly out in the open while the wolf is kind of hanging back just in the tree line.
Okay,
so you'll get like leaf shadows and stuff like that.
Okay, wait, so now let me ask a question on something that I would like to know. And once again, I'm just going to ask the guys on back end if we can just get this particular pieces of Daniel's in the foreground, so fade all of us out so we can see the piece slightly closer up. Okay, so now from a composition point of view over here, right? Now,
the lightest part.
Big yours?
Yeah, these are actually going to be the brightest parts. When I'm finished, all of the background elements are going to be darker. These are going to create the hot spots or the highlight areas. They seem the darkest right now because they're the first thing I painted, but they're actually going to be, silhouettes of trees over top of them, and then you'll start to see the foliage and whatnot. I'm going to put, some bushes over in here, and I think I might even put like a shadow of another one of the wolves.
See, that's the thing that's interesting between Paul's painting and Daniel's. In Daniel's painting, the characters are taking over, so they are the characters, and he's probably going to do some details on the backgrounds, but he's going to subdue them anyway. When
Right.
on Paul's painting, the background is the character. From what I recall, from the first the few pencils I saw at the beginning, they're smaller in size. He took a landscape staging format to emphasize that the background is as much a character as the two characters themselves, which is, to go back to the conversation we had earlier, when the background takes over because it is what we call an establishing shot, that's not a problem. That's what it's meant to be. That's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be a character like the other characters, kind of like what it did on well, actually that's another example. That's an extension, but I was going to talk about the Batman animated show, but that's different. In anime, when the backgrounds are knocking you off your socks, it's because they are meant to be that way, because they're introductive to the story or a sequence in the story. They're setting a mood. They're telling you all you need to do, all you need to know about the place the action is going to take place, so that you can forget about it afterwards as the story unfolds.
Yeah. It's the setup, the setting,
it's the setup, and that's the moment where it's important. When people are talking and saying important things in the middle of a sequence, and they're bringing you information, the least thing you want to have is being distracted by the background. So that's when it has to step down a little bit.
But now, Stefan, can I ask that, because like now your work is up there, right? So you have now I'm gonna get the names completely wrong over here, but you have a basic background of there. You've got the blues, then you've got a character, who's superimposed on another character. So the character that the mecha character now is sort of a background plus a character at the same time. So how does one do the balancing between those? Because I remember the last time. Sorry. I'm asking a very, very tricky question over here, because I find it, the way you explain things. I love the way you explain things, so then it makes sense, So just to round it out, because I know in a previous discussion that we had, you were explaining about how the way you compose a shot, and you see it with what Paul's done and what Daniel's done as well, is that the eye is sort of guided between the different elements of them, So could you talk our audience through now, okay, how you did exactly that with this particular piece? Because the eye is guided between all the different elements over here. So how does that happen?
So this one, there's the basic rules, and there's the rules that are sometimes dictated by the not the characters, but the genre. For example, in this particular genre are super robots and real robots, which is the generation after all the Gundam, Robotech, Macross, Pat Labor, all those shows that came after. It's a schizophrenic stance between what are you drawn to? Are you drawn to the character, the human character, or are you drawn to the robot? Which one do you want to get your kicks from? Staring at the robot for minutes and saying, oh my God, I wish I could pilot that, or I wish I could touch it, I wish I could be there, or, oh, I wish I could be friends, or I could be the hero. So when it comes to giant robots and mecha and all that stuff, I don't particularly consider the robot as a background element. I consider it as a character. So I'm going to put as much detailing and effort on the robot as I will, hopefully, on the guy in the front. Now, what I'm going to do is, in order to give some rest to the brain, I'm not going to be as detailed on the parts of the robots that are behind the guy. I'm gonna manage, if I can, some sort of mist, some sort of haze between the two, some sort of oxygen layer that will allow for the human character to stick out. And my last touches, like Tony was mentioning in his process earlier, my last touch up are going to be about making sure that no matter what, no matter how much I like the robot in the back and how much I want to have details on it, the most contrast is going to be on the character in the front. The most extreme shading, the most extreme detailing and stuff like that is going to be on the character in the front. Because I don't want the robot in the back is already overwhelming enough. I don't want him to crush the character in front. So it's going to be detailed, but not as detailed as the human guy in the front.
Genius, just genius. I understand that. Now, what I love about this entire session, my friends, is of course the fact that we get to learn and understand different techniques, how people do things. And I'm seeing Ray doing something very, very funny over there with. Is that a ruler? Is that a piece of glass? What is going on over there? So Ray, take us through the margin Vegeta over there. What is going on?
So what Ray is doing is I'm actually using a very traditional manga method called deleted tone application. So you get a sheet of Ben-Day dots. Well, you can't really see it. Let me use the darker sheet, actually, that'll help. So it looks like this. So you've got, there we go. So it's got textures and dots and things. And then basically what I'm doing is I'm marking out the areas of tone on Vegeta. So let me hold this close up to the camera so you can actually see I've actually started doing the toning and the different techniques on him, working out the cell shading and all of that. And so I'm actually other way around. Yeah, there we go. So I'm actually using the deleted tones to create shadow, which is very much how manga does it. It's like very old school manga. Nowadays you can do it with brushes in Photoshop or whatever, but it's really, really fun. So it's also super dangerous. So that's why I've been so quiet, because you have to really concentrate.
Just a second though, Ray, just a second. Alan Boa, major shout out there. Thank you so much for the super chat feature of this. $35 in the bag. Guys, don't forget to use the super chat feature. All proceeds from that, they go over to Comic-Con Africa over there. It helps us to continue doing these streams. On that note, my friends, do not forget that if you would like to purchase any of the art that you see here on your screen tonight, you will be able to directly from the respective artists, and of course details as to where you can follow them, find them, and otherwise support them will be in the box below. That being said, Ray, I do apologize. Just had to do the sales thing over there. You were saying.
Yeah, so one thing that's probably that's scary about this is it's very dangerous. So you're busy using an X-Acto knife at the moment. So very sharp, very dangerous, because what you actually have to do is you line it up with the area of shadow, and then you actually have to cut it. So I'm literally sitting here with a knife, very patiently, very slowly cutting. Luckily, I've got my previous graphic design qualifications actually that taught me how to do this. Although that being said, I have severed my finger several times. So just doing that.
9 more.
Yes. So just a disclaimer to the younger audiences out there, please, if you do use knives, be careful. They are very sharp and very dangerous.
Yes.
I am being needlessly scared at the moment, because you can see how my hands are shaking, because I have cut myself several times with this particular knife. So it's not a fun experience, and bleeding on your work makes it less valuable. So
unless you're Ben Templesmith.
Yes.
I knew you were going to say that.
For those that don't know, Ben actually put his own blood in his work.
Yep.
I've done that before as well. Some artwork.
It's battle damage art. I mean, like, really, Ray, there's a question here coming from Pengu 101. Does the knife not go through the page? Does the knife not go through to the page?
No, funnily enough, no, because the way that Delete is designed is it's got a very, very cleverly manufactured backing that actually is it doesn't actually allow the knife to cut through. So while it is terrifying to use, it's actually very safe on the drawing, because otherwise you wouldn't actually be able to do this. So, and then what you can see here is I'm slowly peeling off the tone that I've made, and then just like a sticker, you go and match it up. I just need to erase the pencil marks. I'm just doing that. Doop, doop, doop.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask, right? So this is obviously the traditional style in which the manga work is done. But when you look at like the speed and quick one. Major shout out there to Awali, $35 in the bag as well. So muchos gracias, senor.
Thanks,
really appreciate that. And the comment of there is, of course, everyone has insane advice. That's exactly why we do it. Like I said, the intention of these streams with Artchimp and all of our friends over here is to create an awareness, understanding, and of course appreciation for the magic that each of these very gifted creators display over here. So sorry, coming back to what I was asking.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So from the perspective of, okay, so this is a one-off piece, and this here will be possibly a centerpiece in someone's collection once it's sold. The question though is, why the deleter sheets versus just maybe using a gray wash with India ink?
Firstly, because I'm terrible at doing that. So there's a reason why I'm not watercoloring at the moment, because I am clumsy and I'm impatient, and it's not part of my fantasy. So deleted tones for me, because firstly, it is a traditional thing. So I really wanted to work within the theme that we've been presented tonight. But also, it looks really good. It's a very old-fashioned and very, very classic way of doing things, but it has this magic to it. It gives it this kind of innate sense of authenticity. And because, unfortunately, deleters are very rare to get here in South Africa, it makes the piece a little bit more valuable because it's special. So it's not often that you're going to actually see a piece with that actually has deleter tones on it, which is pretty cool. So at least there's a uniqueness to it. I'm also doing my sales pitch right now.
Didn't see it coming at all. Didn't see it coming. Well done there. Well done there. Our last question over here today, and I quote also coming from Ziad and Zawali. Question today: why are there so little to no manga bonzo creators in SA? I'm not gonna lie. I read them as gonzo at first. I was like, "Yay, you can't talk about gonzo things over here." But then I realized that no, wait. I read that wrong. So, Ray, can you talk to that? Clyde, I think you can also come in on this one over here as well.
Yeah, I think Clyde can also offer a really good perspective here. The weird thing is that so many people start their love of art and their love of drawing with these characters. Because just for context for our international guests, Dragon Ball Z is a way of life in South Africa, because it's back in the day we only really had 4 channels to watch TV on, and just one of them had cartoons on them, and it always happened to be that they would show either Yu-Gi-Oh or Dragon Ball Z or Naruto. So it was kind of like the open access. So most people grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. That was the whole thing. And so, I mean, I could definitely say for me, it's certainly inspired me to want to get into animation. I wanted to get into comic art and all sorts of things. So I've got a very distinct love of Dragon Ball Z because of what it did for my career. And so what Ziad is asking is a very interesting question: is why aren't there that many manga creators? And that's a very good question, because a lot of us, when we make comics in South Africa, tend to go the very global north method. So we either follow traditional American style, or we go a little bit more experimental like bande dessinée. But generally, the formatting is going to be your kind of standard, your standard global north structure, but not manga. And I think it's because of the amount of exposure we have to the material. So we definitely see a lot more comic books than we do manga volumes, number one. And secondly, it's also because comics are already niche, and then manga is one higher level more of niche in the country because of access issues and everything like that. A lot of people aren't actually exposed to traditional manga. So where they'll see a lot of anime, you're not going to actually see a lot of people that have exposure to actual legitimate volumes of manga. And so it's always that debate, but have you read the manga? But a lot of the time in South Africa, the answer is no, because you can't. And yes, there are ways and means around that stuff, but it's not. I'm not encouraging that at all, because it's a very important thing to support. And so the majority of manga we get are the translations by Dark Horse. So it'll normally be the more popular titles like Boku no Hero Academia and Trigun, and so like the really well-known titles that have been around for a long time. But we won't often see the more niche titles. And I mean, Stefan, you can speak to this as well. So I mean, 1/3 of France's bande dessinée industry is actually French translation of manga. And it's very fascinating, because Germany is actually the second largest producer of manga in the world, which is really fascinating.
Which is another. Sorry, there's another thing on that, on the attainability of manga. If we forget, we used to watch Moomin. Technically, that's manga. Heidi, Niklaus, David the Kabouter, which was because it was German or Dutch, it was easy to translate into Afrikaans. So David the Gnome, you know, so we had a lot of that growing up as kids. Also, it's manga is the semi-unattainable. You know, it seems easy. I think a lot of kids want to do manga because drawing anime characters and drawing manga characters seems easier. So a lot of professionals, specifically in South Africa, because our industry isn't as developed, and I'm not throwing us under the bus, we've got fantastic artists, but our comic book and manga industry is not as developed as the rest of the world. Yeah. So you get these kids who think they can take shortcuts by going anime and they try and things like that. And I admire that. But then you find that fundamentals get lost. They don't learn how to do anatomy. Manga, you still need to know real anatomy, even if you're gonna change your proportions to fit a more manga or your own unique style. All artists, Ray, myself, all of us probably learn the fundamentals of anatomy before we develop our own style and our own proportions. And often, like, I think what I'm busy drawing has pretty accurate anatomy right now. And I tend to exaggerate, but just for this style, I'm trying to go do a thing. So, you know, it could have been exaggerated. I'll probably go in and make that head a little bigger or something. But yeah, it becomes quite this, but it's fun to watch. It's cool to see. I just think that fundamentals are developed well enough. And it's nice to see that a lot more, if you want to put it in inverted commas, Afro manga is starting to rise right now.
Yeah, so shout out to Ziad and people like Bill Masuku and Afro Tokyo that are just doing amazing work in the Afro manga scene. So it's very important.
Exactly.
There's a couple of things I want to touch on over there because, so firstly, just going to the comments over there, Alan Boer, SABC2, 5 o'clock laws, that there is a Dragon Ball Z reference. All day, every day, my man. All day, every day.
Yep.
Penguin 101 saying Yu-Gi-Oh! Was life when I was younger. I am still trusting in the house of the cards, even when I'm not playing a card game. And of course, Kum Studio saying, got into drawing via drawing jacked, weird-looking DBZ characters. And I think that's, that's been the journey for many people here. Now, to the discussion about the lack of shall I say exposure or opportunity, at least when it comes here in South Africa. This is exactly why we're doing what we're doing, here with Artchimp and with all of the other initiatives we have coming up in the months and days to come. And I invite all of our viewers to please be sure to let's just control that my mic's a bit soft, so just adjusting that. Thanks guys, I'm back in. I think that's slightly better now. I had it up because I was chowing chicken and I didn't want anyone to hear like so forgot about that. But anyway, as I was saying, this is exactly what we're trying to do with this video. So guys, what we want to do is we want to normalize. I dream of a South Africa where somebody right now in class 2 standard 1 or whatever they call it these days would be like, one day I want to be a comic book artist and there actually is a market for him. I dream of a place where where art comes back to school. Do you know how upset I was to find out that like Patrick's not here tonight, right? But you know how upset I was to find out that they actually did like proper art in school where they actually learned about things like look at this. Now where I'm coming from, so now I'm coming from, like proper gangster public school style over here. And when it came to art, you know what art was? Art was literally, you get Play-Doh, plasticine, right? They give everyone one lump of Play-Doh and they like that, do your thing. And then this one time in standard 5, that's 7th grade, right? What happened was this teacher who doubled up as our gym teacher, and what he did was we went outside and in one of the sinks over there, he took oil paint, he put it on water, and what you had to do was take a sheet of paper, put it under, pick it up, and then art, and that was like mind blowing for me. I was like, oh my God, I are an artist, you know? And then you find out, right, that, you know, there's people like these Tony Moyes and these Paul Limgencos, because that's how it's pronounced, and these Nathans and these Rays and these Stefans and these Daniels and these damn clients all over the place over here now who, you know, like are gifted in this thing over here, and you got bluffed with oil on water. Come on, man. Okay, I'm sorry. This affected
I wish
me
I
a little
learned
bit
that.
more.
Yeah,
There's a lot more money in hydro-dipping these days.
Oh, okay. I thank you. I suddenly feel better about my poverty-ridden childhood. Thank you, Nate. You are a darling. You are a darling. Right.
Pleasure.
But, with that being said, we really want to create this awareness, and guys, this can only happen by showing support for initiatives like this. So like I said, I'm going to say it again, each and every one of our guests over here, the artworks that they are creating, together with a host of other things, yes, a host of other things that they do, you will be able to purchase the stuff over here. And don't worry about international shipping and all that stuff there. Chat to the artist directly, they will sort that out for you. But do not forget that local is equally lekker. So what I want you guys to do, my boys Nate, my boy Ray, my boy Clyde, you know, what I want you guys to do is show some love, show some support, because you must remember, guys, I cannot understand why people don't understand. Do you people understand how valuable comic art is? Number one. Number two, do you understand, right, the potential for escalated value in this thing here? What you people need to be learning about is how to develop your own portfolio of art. Listen to me, I'm giving you very, very good advice. This is what you can literally do. You can approach an artist, right? You can approach an artist, all of the fellows over here, you can reach out to them via their various social media, and you can indicate to them that you want a one-of-a-kind piece. Remember, you will be the only person on the whole darn planet to have that exact thing over there. Also, don't forget about Stefan. Like when I was giving the rundown, everyone over there now, I was like just going through the list over here and I missed it. So I'm ranting at the moment, but what I want to create over here is this culture of people learning to appreciate art. Okay, so please, people, get it right. And that is your public service announcement for the day. We have just about 29 minutes left on the stream over here, right? So we're going to be doing another cycle over here. But now I must ask you a critical question. Okay, my question is this: if we took, you recall a couple of weeks. Wait, okay, I can stop being the ranting. I can use a different pose now. You guys will recall that a little while back we did the 80s rundown where we were talking about 80s cartoons, the one where we did 90s. Now I put it to you. If you were to reimagine, now listen carefully now. If you were to reimagine He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, right, into a specific anime manga-esque style, which one would you use?
JoJo's Bizarre Universe.
Oh, Ray, no, Ray. Okay, you know what?
For He-Man, that would actually be perfect for He-Man, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Stefan, I must apologize. These people are savages. They are from Africa, right? So I must apologize. Tony, don't tell your friends at Wall Street about us for this, you know, because then our country will attack even more. Guys, we're out of here trying to build credibility, and then you go and say things like that. Come on, man.
No, that's actually a good one. I was sorry I was on mute, but that's the thing with He-Man. You can actually play with it. That's actually a good idea. That could be later on. That could be one of the themes. Like you take the He-Man universe and you do it in any, either mashup or reinterpretation, or that's actually
I also like that.
a good one.
Like steampunk He-Man.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay, I was out here talking trash, but I didn't realize I was sitting on a gold mine. But you're good right now in the comments. I want to make this a thing, right? You know what I think we should do? I genuinely believe that what we should do is we should create an art book where, for all of these segments that we're doing, everyone chooses a piece. You know, we pop it into that art book and we call it Artchimp Through the Ages. And then what we do is we sell that stuff off and then we share the profits. Okay,
love it.
Like, so yeah, if the art should be up for then you people will be cool with buying that of there, because I just feel it just really, really offends me that, you know what, I am such a major comic book fan, and in particular comic book art fan. And I just feel that not enough credit goes to there. Now I do understand that because our currency is up. Excuse me, I nearly lost myself over there. But right, so the reality is it might be slightly restrictive to some people. So let me know in the comments now, if you would like for us to engage with the artists that you see over here to talk about having limited runs of prints and stuff over there. I'm sure we'll be able to work something out there. But what's really important is I want you people to support. Okay, now. Okay, so Jack's Cosplay is saying I would totally buy the book. And there's a lot going on over here. Comic-Con Africa asking who's down for a He-Man mashup session. People are very excited about that. Going to another comment where I found this one here hilarious. Awali saying, I definitely study you guys and try my best to improve the anatomy on things. And that advice has helped tremendously with volume 2 being a whole bunch better than the first volume. So with that over there, I invite you guys to Google Siri Watu and you'll thank me about that later. Right.
It's really good.
Jack says, my mom told me I shouldn't do art for high school because I don't have good enough time management. She was, still is right. Time management, gentlemen, right? Thoughts? Because, you guys crank stuff out, So it's really down to a science now, isn't it?
Zaid, I want to tell you something. Funny though. It's like what Brendan doesn't realize is that I'm here on the stream. Brendan happens to be Jack's Cosplay happens to be one of my students, so that's not a good idea to be telling me he's procrastinating right now. Brendan, I'm going to do so much homework.
That got really awkward really fast, and okay, you know what? Daniel, here's the part where you throw in a really, really big word and just amaze us with that. Say juxtapose quickly. Save us.
Moxie.
How about peripatetic? There's a nice word.
Moxie is my favorite word right now.
Moxie.
What is it?
Moxie.
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 Moxie. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, I'm hearing it bad. I do apologize. I heard it as Marty. I'm like, who is teaching this so Afrikaans? Why is he teaching Afrikaans?
Yeah, I was also hearing that.
Yes, no. Okay, wait. So, okay, the comments are on fire over here. So I just want to say, thanks to everyone for supporting and showing us your love over here. And just remember that once you go and you follow everyone who's our guest over here tonight, and some of our guests who are, our boy Mike Rooth isn't here with us tonight, but just follow everyone on socials over here. They have loads of other streams as well. Like Tony, for example, very, very active on the Twitch. Not so, Tony?
Yeah, I will be finishing this tonight on Twitch side. We'll be streaming probably after 7 or 8 o'clock or so tonight, and I'm going to try to finish this up later. So you guys want to see where this is going to go and whether or not I mess this up, that's the place to probably check me out.
Come watch me screw this up.
Yeah.
Are we just going to ignore how smooth that segue over there to an advert, to check out the next stream was? Are we just going to ignore that? Because come on, come on. You see? So, yeah. Stefan, can I ask you a personal question?
Say no, Stefan. Say no.
That sounds super loaded, dude.
No, man. You know what? A little while back, we were having a tour of your workshop, and you were showing us some of the cosplayers over there, and the thing one was still in WIP. It was still in work in progress. I have not been privileged enough to see any more update posts of this. So what's happening? Why are you slacking? Is it because of your second vaccine?
You're muted.
Stefan.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I had pages to finish, and I was developing my own creator-own project, and also winter was still a big deal here, so I couldn't. The part that I need to work on regarding the Thing costume is requires for me to be able to work in my garage and to sand some parts and to collect the dust and dispose of it. So that wasn't possible because it was way too cold. Now I'm waiting for the weeks in the couple of weeks to come. It'll be more manageable. And I was actually giving it a thought yesterday, trying to estimate when I'll be able to get back to it, because I had that tickle in my fingertips where I wanted to do some craft. So because I couldn't work on that sending those sending parts on the Thing, what I did, I still wanted to do craft. What I did is I worked on my Hulk display.
I saw that.
So I've been working on the giant hand that will ornate the whole thing. If you bear with me for a minute, I will switch screens and I will show you the progress.
100%.
All right, you see me now? Hi guys.
Hello.
All right, let me go grab my hand.
Okay. Now, at this point, my friends, what I want you guys to do is we're going to be crossing over to everyone, and we're going to hear a little bit more about everyone's projects. But damn, son, that is a big ass fan.
That is cool.
All right.
Guys, should I mute my mic? Is my daughter too loud in the background?
Can't even hear it.
No, can't hear.
So I call it the back scratcher.
Oh man.
Awesome.
How about the high five? That's crazy.
Yeah. My wife thinks that he's flipping the bird. I'm like, no, he's not. So
that is brilliant.
You know what they say about guys with big hands? That's all.
Yeah. Oh God, come on.
Big gloves.
They wear big gloves.
They have dirty
Tiny
noses.
feet.
Yeah. No. Guys with big hands have dirty noses because they can't flick.
Oh.
Cost an arm and a leg and manicure.
That sounds like big hand jealousy there.
Zaid, are you speaking from experience?
No. I was just trying desperately to bring this back to a PG thing because Tony was being dirty over there and talking about hands.
I was going with gloves. I was going.
I went with gloves too.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
I
don't know where you were going.
I'm the perv. What have I done? Oh no, Stefan, that is genius. That is just brilliant. And please, we're very, very grateful if you'd keep us up to date with progress over there. But now, with that being said, at this point for you guys, I must apologize in advance, but I have got to shamelessly plug everything my friends are working on, and this is like the highlight of it, of every stream over here, just to chat to everyone. Like, guys, what are you working on? Where are you right now? What's been going on? So I think where we're going to go right now is I'm going to ask Daniel. So Daniel, what are you working on, brother? What are you working on? What's been happening?
Oh my gosh, I'm wrapping up like probably 20 commissions. Like we got a Hawkman, another Hawkman.
What?
Wow.
I've got a let's see what else. Oh yeah.
But
This
have
one's
you
fun.
drawn Birdman?
I can't wait to finish this one. This is Lyra and Yorick Bernison from the Golden Compass.
Wow.
Well, then.
There'll be
Very cool.
there'll be a huge Northern Lights in the background, and then I've got this. If you thought that was big, literally all the X-Men.
Oh, dude.
No way.
Yeah,
No
so this thing's
way.
breaking my brain slightly, but I'm finishing this up today.
Who's that in the back?
Wait, you're finishing this one today?
Yeah, that
What?
one's been like the bear in the room or the elephant in the room or whatever. It feels more
It's
like
the
a bear.
Hulk hand in the room. It's the Hulk hand in the room.
And then I'm working on 2 secret projects that I'm not able to talk about.
Oh, come on! If it's not secret anymore. You talked about it.
No, it's
Me too,
no,
me
I
too.
have not. I've definitely not talked about this one. I would never, ever. This one had way too many things I had to sign to say I wouldn't.
Oh.
So Daniel, I heard that you're opening up 75 more spaces on your commissions list.
So on May 1st, I will be opening my list again. Those pieces that I just showed you are the last ones that I have on my list, and then I'll be opening everything on the 1st. I'm only opening like 10 slots. I only take 10 a month, and then whatever I can get through. So.
Okay, guys, so you heard it here first.
Awesome,
check it out. May 1st coming up. You want to get yourself on that list over there. Just remember that Daniel does all sorts of crazy things over there. I strongly urge you to pick his brain with something for Lord of the Rings, because not only will you get a beautiful piece of art, you will get something from his heart. See what I did there? Yeah.
Thing. I have another Lord of the Rings piece that I'll be posting. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. See, that's my friend.
Look at you teasing.
Okay. So with that being said, so Tony, I realize that things are busy for you. What with your numerous engagements with the Wall Sheet and all of those interviews and stuff there, I seem to recall that there was something that you were working on with them, like where you were doing a write-up and all of that. But aside from all of that, right, what is Tony working on art-wise? Because that's where we are.
I just did a count this morning. I have 18 pages of a script that I wrote, and I gotta do a few more. But I'm hoping it's a personal project. I'm trying to make some time for it. So that's actually a big step for me to actually have physical pages of a script that I've actually written out instead of just jotted notes. So maybe next time I'll have a few sneak peeks at what I'm working on, and I'll say something else.
Looking forward to that. And my brother, if I may be so bold, I'm actually quite enjoying your new beard. This adds gravitas to you.
Huh?
Your new beard, your new shapy beard there. It adds gravitas to you, So it's like damn, Tony, damn.
Yeah, I thought it was an imposter. It was like, look at this guy playing like he's
ramifications of quarantine.
It's the evil version. Evil Tony.
Dark Tony. Okay, we've got about 15 minutes to go over here, right? So I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit as we just pan through what everyone is working on over there. Paul, there were some dodgy, beautifully haunting images that you sent us earlier today, and I'm going to ask my friends on the back end just to cast that onto screen over here. Paul, you have to talk us through this over here now, right? What have you done, Paul? What have you done?
I don't know. It depends. I sent you two things. I can't see which one you guys are doing.
Okay. So I'm starting out with so while we're talking, the guys will cast it over there. The Dragon's Child, Paul. What have you done?
Oh yeah.
This is. Can I just say that this is terrifyingly beautiful. It is ephemeral. It creates. It has a strong juxtaposition. I know that's not the right word to use over here, but I googled it earlier and I just feel like I need to use it in over here. So just to impress Daniel. Brother, talk
that's
us
the word of the
through
day.
Dragon's Child. Juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Juxtaposition.
Guys on back end, please cast the image for us. But Paul, if you just talk us through this.
Yeah, this is just a short story that this man John Pence wrote. He's a comic author, and we worked on this together. I'm obviously just doing the artwork. It's a very short comic, and I just put together all these kind of like a one-shot trailer kind of thing. There is no release date yet, but I'm pretty much just polishing up all the artwork, seeing all the parts that could use improvement, and then he's putting it all together. So I think the plan is to have that out sometime in the summer, maybe. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay, so guys, summer for us, for them is like our winter. So what you want to do is go and follow Paul on all socials. But Paul, for the Dragon's Child, do they have like their own socials, their own handles that guys can check in on?
No, that's not like it. There isn't like a Instagram or something like that for specifically Dragon's Child. So you'd have to either follow me or John.
Okay, well, guys, you know what? Instagram is free. So while it's free, I invite you to go and do both. If you haven't already, you need to go and follow Paul, and you will also have to follow John Pensevere. But Paul, that's not the end of it. Follow your shadow. What have you done, dude? Like, okay, I'm looking at this image, and I'm not gonna lie, this is haunting. This is very, very haunting, very, very disturbing. I'm certain the guys will pop it up on screen over there. But once again, for everyone who, if you don't see it on screen, you will be able to find these images over here on Paul's Instagram. But brother, talk us through this over here. What have you done?
So this is a work in progress of the poster for a TV show that this man that I've worked with before, he's done all sorts of like film and whatnot. But so he's doing this TV show, and I wrote this thing down because I know I was going to screw it up. Follow Your Shadow is a brand that's a hybrid of a horror series and an esoteric fashion line. The actual series is like the NBC series Hannibal, and it revolves around a psychiatrist and a girl who is able to access an alternate dimension via her unconsciousness. Yeah.
I must juxtapose that. I must juxtapose here and just be like, you know what?
Just juxtapose something.
Yes. You know, I'm going to be using that everywhere, you know, and hashtag team juxtapose. But no, brother, like what's haunting about this image over here is that there's so many different styles. It shows your range because, like, I mean, there's this photorealistic lady in the background. And then there's like this. Okay, I'm not going to spoil for you. Oh, there we go. You can see it over there on the screen. If you guys will just pin that. That's on Paul's screen. If you guys just pin that for us. It's terrifyingly beautiful. It is terrifyingly beautiful. That is the only way I can explain it.
Yeah. So this is it in progress. It's acrylic. Wow. And got a few days left on this thing, but almost there.
That's sweet.
Okay, so guys, follow your shadow.tv. Okay, so what you want to do is go show some love over there, and Bruce, you know what? I'm going to have to do a prayer before I go to sleep because this thing is going to give me nightmares, and that is how visceral it is. So the mission accomplished. Mission accomplished indeed. Okay, so with that being said, right? I now need to go to Rayman.
No.
Okay, so Ray, answer the question. Who wears short shorts?
I wear short shorts.
and sometimes Muay Thai shorts as well, right? Okay, so Ray, you're getting a bit dangerous now. You're moving in there now with knives on the drawings, and you know you're testing students over here and this thing over there. But now we don't want to know about your magnificence. And much love over there, guys, from Alan Bowe throwing us another $35. Thank you so much, Alan. Really, really appreciate your support and love, brother. And Ray, sing to Alan. Sing to Alan now.
Oh, Alan, you wonderful person. I really appreciate your donation. What rhymes with person? I don't know, but my rhymes could possibly...
Juxtapose.
Any home with juxtapose.
Yes.
Okay, Ray, what you working on lately?
So at work, so just for everyone that doesn't know, I'm a lecturer at Wits University. So I'm actually working on an Afro manga project at the moment. Mm-hmm. So interestingly, what we're doing is I've challenged a group of students. So there's 12 of them. So 6 of them are writers, 6 of them are artists. And I've actually challenged them to make a Shonen Jump style manga volume. But specifically with narratives focusing on African content. So we're doing some really, really awesome research in the background. We're busy playing around with intergenre and intermediality and a whole bunch of other kind of core theories to generate this really exciting project. So I'm very proud of the work that's coming out so far. And then personally, I'm still finishing Spook. I've been procrastinating that poor comic for so long, but I blame my doctorate and all of that stuff. So still working on that. But otherwise, just keeping on, doing lots of drawing, I just posted an animation I did today on Instagram. So if people want to go and see that, you're welcome to. And then Bill Masuku and I are working on some interesting publication things. We also recently did a comic making workshop video for the Namibian Library of Comics. It's just started. It's been sponsored by the Goethe Institute of South Africa and of Namibia. So we're busy doing a series of comic how-tos and working in the comic environment, and basically just to help young people out there access content that previously they wouldn't have been able to. So doing a lot of stuff in the background, but having fun doing it.
Awesome. I think that is the most important thing. I once said a thing that said that, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, But then an ex of mine once said that, yeah, but if you're only doing what you love, then isn't that working it all the time? So you can see why we broke up, but that's another story for another day. That's another story for another day. But with that being said, Nate man. So first of all, Nate, I need to pop on over there to the tattoo parlor because you have entirely too many cool display items over there that have no business being over there with you. It would fit in much better over here, first of all. But second of all, what have you been busy with, brother? Design.
We've created, and then I'll show you what we've created.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, I'm walking the wrong way. So I'm gonna walk you guys through the studio in a sense, so you can kind of see I'll walk slow. So this is the tattoo studio.
Oh, that's a really cool.
Oh, that's pretty crazy, man.
Oh wow.
There you go. There's the lounge.
Great.
It's magnificent.
Hey, do some name dropping. Maybe people want to come see your studio.
Yeah.
I was trying so subtly to drop that over there, but thank you, Nate. So, yeah, come on, Nate, pull yourself together.
So let me quickly show you guys. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we could just pin this over here fast.
Oh, wow.
That is just cool. Oh,
Nice.
Right?
Wow.
Right?
You should have drinking drawers over there.
Right?
Yeah, I'll come.
Yeah, dude,
I'm on my way.
That's what I'm saying.
We're waiting for you,
Count
Stefan.
Africa, please.
Get that second shot, Stefan. We're waiting for you.
Yeah, I get mine next week.
We're waiting for
I already
you.
got all mine.
Okay, Tony, come on, get your flag, get your thing sorted out. We'll talk to Pat. Let's do this thing. Yeah, but are those CGCs? Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about, So, guys, this is something that's over here. And again, what you're going to do is you're going to follow Nate, and you are going to, don't just rock up over there now shaking hands. Like, what you want to do is rock up over there and actually support the business, And, come on, man, come on, Okay, so, and last but certainly not least, Clyde. Damn it.
No.
You know what, Clyde, I'm still upset with you, huh? Like you seem to be brushing off my deep rage. Let me give you guys some context, right? So it was in the Comic-Con Africa of 2019, and I was hosting a panel with Clyde, Loyiso, and my other one, True Love. And what we were doing was we were talking about the big project of there, the crazy animation, which we're not supposed to talk about, but I'm still pissed off about it. And I offered my vocal talents. I did like 4 different voices, and Clyde said, "You know what? We'll talk." Do you know that we've never spoken? It never came up again.
We are. Look, we need those guys with the money to come on the project now. So we're getting ready. That's what's keeping me busy. Working fundamentally in animation development, writing the scripts, doing the story outlines, doing some concept art. Another exciting little project popped up as well in that same sort of vein. I can't also, you guys know, NDAs and those kind of things. Not quite allowed to talk about it yet. But there's interesting stuff coming. Watch this space. Like there's a lot happening in the near future, and I think there's a lot of things that will be dropping. I've kind of just been, doing the normal day to day. We just finished Collector's Edition 5 of Quasi, so that's out as well. Yeah, and that's it. Easy.
But Clyde, the real answer is you're actually going to hire me to do the voice acting. That's the real truth.
So
Now hold on 1 second. Right? Yeah. Okay. Wait. Okay. Let's just have a quick voice off over here, right? So
yeah, let's do it.
I can do this voice. Well, hello there, and I can do this voice. Hello, and I can do this voice. Hello, and I can do this voice. Hello, and I can do this voice. Yeah. Allah. I can do all of these voices over there, all of which are ideal for villains. Those are ideal voices for villains because there is nothing more terrifying than a villain coming up to you and going, Allah. Hello. I cannot understand. Stefan is terrified right now. Stefan muted himself. That's how terrified he is. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm in this really, really volatile emotional space right now, and I just don't think
you need it.
Yeah, I need a win.
You seem like it.
I need a win. I need to juxtapose all of the horrible things that have been happening against a win. And all I really want to do is I want to be a voiceover artist. And why do you want to take this away from me, Clyde? Come on, man. Tony, tell
we'll do auditions. We'll do castings. We'll talk.
Oh, that's the best.
He just did it again. He's been telling me
call you.
Don't call me. I'll call you.
Just remember, we're looking for authentic South African accents, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to say?
Authentic South African accent.
Shots fired.
We need that Josie twang.
Yeah, but I can definitely do that for you, eh?
Yeah, I think Ray's got it.
Yeah,
Nooit praat.
I'll be a boost as well, eh?
Nooit praat. You can't tell me like that. You can't tell me like that. This is how Clyde talks. Clyde talks like this over here. We're gonna talk. You know, Clyde, you treat me very, very badly, Clyde. You treat me very, very badly.
Look, I'm part of a team. I can't make all the decisions on my own.
But you decide, you know what? I'm not going to fight with Clyde anymore. What I am going to do is I'm going to tell you guys that do not forget that I want you to show support to all of my friends over here. And also, unfortunately, some of our friends weren't able to join us vis-a-vis Campana, Mike Rooth, and my boy Loyiso Mkize. All of these chaps over here are part of the Artchimp family. And as a result of that, I want you guys to go and show them some love as well. Now, on the topic of Artchimp and stuff that's coming up as well. So, like I said, our goal and our intention and our express mission is to actually create more of an awareness, understanding, and appreciation for all things related to comic books, comic book art, and basically the lifestyle that is being a comic book fan. So as a result of that, and as a direct consequence of that, what's going to happen is there will be a lot more content that we will be creating in tandem with our friends at Comic Con Africa, basically to supplement their initiatives as well to create more of an awareness. So in the course of that, you can expect some videos talking about sort of 101s, as it were. How do you collect, things you should look out for, why you should collect, and other tips and tricks and all that stuff there. So you want to keep it locked onto socials, and you'll be able to see exactly how that works. With that being said, if you haven't already, I invite you to go and check out the Artchimp socials. We will have a YouTube channel coming out not too long from now, but right now we are very, very active on both Facebook and Instagram, and you'll find that every so often we do some crazy giveaways as well, including all sorts of crazy things. So I'm not going to get into that right now. So we have roughly 8 minutes on the stream, and at this point over here, shameless punting time, because if we've done the classy punting stuff over here, if there's anything that anyone, shall we have another spirited debate, right? Let's have a spirited debate. Let's do that instead, right? Gentlemen, I put it to you that the Mortal Kombat movie, the latest one, the Mortal Kombat movie was a breath of fresh air in an otherwise fart-filled elevator, fart-filled, flatulence, fart-filled elevator of Hollywood offerings. Discuss.
Amen to that.
I think the first 15, 20 minutes of the Mortal Kombat movie was the freshest of airs of that movie.
but Kano forever, guys.
My question is, who the hell is Cole Young?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, so no spoilers, obviously, right? But did you guys enjoy it? Whoever watched it, did you enjoy it?
Very much so.
I don't know. I want to juxtapose that movie to the Dragon Ball live action movie.
Ooh.
That back.
Wow. Don't go there.
Take that back right now. Come on, you take that back. Wait. Daniel, what does juxtapose mean? Like an opposite or like a direct comparison?
It's putting next to it.
Directly next to something.
So Stefan, how dare you, Stefan? That is the most hurtful thing that you have said in this past hour, and you've said some very hurtful things. You know,
I don't
not
say
as hurtful
much,
as
but when I do, I don't say much, but when I do, I drop the bombs.
Look, okay. But then shall we juxtapose that against the recently released animated feature, Scorpion's Revenge? So that came out last year.
Oh.
Now, right?
Oh, it was so good.
Was that good?
I must have missed that. What is this?
It's a retrospective on the actual history of Scorpion, and it is so well done. The art style is great, the animation is amazing. It's like everything people wanted of Scorpion in the movie, you get like 10 times in the animated feature, and it's as violent and as awesome as you'd expect. So it's just, and I actually prefer Jax's origin in that film than as opposed to the new Mortal Kombat film.
Oh yeah.
Well, I look forward to catching it because I enjoyed the Scorpion Sub-Zero.
Oh yes.
Prologue, I guess.
Take that.
That was my favorite part of the entire thing.
Yeah, take that, but make it the whole film. And then
I was hoping they took that and made it the whole film too.
Yes.
And if you base it on the games, they could have done that kind of thing, said it in the past, revealed that it's actually Quincy that killed his family, have the whole sort of Spawn style thing, him in hell and clawing his way out.
They do that in the animated film.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Okay. It already sounds better.
Really
I need to check it out.
But tell me, it didn't give you the chills when you heard the 1995 soundtrack. Like
at the end, yes.
In the movie, when they just put it in the same. Okay, so guys, I've just been told that we are literally 1 minute over time. So we will have to close the discussion of there, but it doesn't have to end over here, guys. Like I said, what you guys need to do is go and show love and support to all my friends over here. Guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time out to hang out with me and the rest of the chimps over here on the Comic Con Africa page, and to our friends and to our friends at Comic Con Africa, thank you so much for hosting us. It's always a blast. And just remember, most important, critically, guys, what I invite you to do is go show love, show support for all of these amazingly gifted individuals. And even if it is not necessarily within the budget to be able to purchase the art outright, but just remember, every like, every share, every comment, every bit of interaction actually helps the algorithm to showcase these great creators. And that in and of itself now will make their work or bring it to the forefront, the spotlight, as it were, to would-be clients, as it were. So yes, I know that's very, very on the nose, what I'm saying over here, but you must remember, we are living in this post-COVID world, and the comic book industry, together with the entertainment industry, were two of the industries that were hardest hit, in my humble view, by the COVID pandemic. And as we start making strong inroads, to start to rectify and course correct over here, as we get ready, God willing, for live shows again, we need to make a concerted, deliberate effort to actually support each and every one of my friends over here. Okay, so I'm not going to apologize for any of that because it's something that I feel needs to be said. But gentlemen, parting shots, if any.
Juxtaposition.
Thanks so much, guys. I think it was a dope session.
You are ever so loquacious, Mr. Govar.
Yeah. Word of the day.
No, the word of the day was juxtapose.
Yes.
Juxtapose.
Which stems from juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to do my usual thing. Please, everyone, support South African comics. They do exist. Ask us how. All right, that's the big thing. We're a very tiny industry, as Clyde mentioned. So the more people that buy stuff from us, the more we can make. So that's always a good thing. And thank you for everyone for participating, for commenting, for being involved. It's really great. And for the young audience members, draw. Just draw. Never let anyone tell you that your dreams of being an artist is silly. Don't listen to them. Be awesome and follow your passions.
Yep.
Mhm.
Don't drive angry.
Word, man, word.
Damn straight. So, guys, we will see you guys next month, and the details of what we'll be doing and what we'll be discussing will pop up soon. I personally am lobbying very, very strongly for He-Man mashups. I'm strongly advocating for that. But we leave it open to the fans as well to throw some ideas over there. And
also gonna do video games.
We were supposed to do video games. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. Okay. So wait. Okay. Tell you what. Let's ask Pat. Right. We'll ask Pat.
Oh.
So we'll have a power hour about that over there. But gentlemen, thank you once again. Yeah. That's pretty much the way
Take it easy, everybody.
Thank you all.
All right.
Yeah, take care. Stay safe wherever you are. And to all of you watching with it, thank you for spending time with us. And like, share, subscribe, follow, do all of that stuff. Hit the little bell thingy if you haven't already. And we will chat to you guys soon. Peace.
Excellent. See you guys.
Oh, wow.
Nice, Nathan.
That's
is
really
cool.
cool.
Dig it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So fast.